there is another very important phase of warfare. It has as its target not the body, but the mind of the enemy.
On infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation instead of free choice, by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy,
Alright, so this one is just going to be a semi-quick video. Now, the Davos event is scheduled to begin on the 15th, I believe, so just a few days away. Now, I do have to ask that you be on the lookout for the new videos because I'm pretty sure YouTube is screwing with the channel just a little bit since, of course, my last Epstein video. Anyway, basically what I've noticed is that when I go check the view count, it's actually less than what it was previously. And I have noticed that some comments have been hidden as well. Now, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, just keep an eye out for the new videos because notifications might not work for a while. However, if you're on alt media, BitChute, Rumble, or Odyssey, well, you should be fine. Anyway, I cut this segment out of a video from a few weeks ago, but I still think it's interesting. So, back in 2016, the Pentagon released a video about our dystopic future, specifically relating to megacities. Now, if you remember back in 2016, we had the privilege of reading this article right here. Welcome to 2030. I own nothing, have no privacy, and life has never been better. And no, it will not be. They are lying. Well, anyway, in this article right here, as I said, also in 2016, the Pentagon warned about our future in, once again, drumroll please, 2030. Yes, I believe they are following a plan. Now, the reason I cut this from the video originally is because we have to watch a 5-minute clip. However, first, let's read a section from the article, and then we'll take a look at the video from the Pentagon. Once again, this is from The Intercept back in 2016. The year is 2030. Forget about the flying cars, robot maids, and the moving sidewalks we were promised. They're not happening, but that doesn't mean the future is a total unknown. According to a startling Pentagon video obtained by The Intercept, the future of global cities will be an amalgam of the settings of Escape from New York and RoboCop, with dashes of The Warriors and Divergent thrown in. It will be a world of Robert Kaplan-esque urban hellscapes, brutal and archaic supercities filled with gangs of youth gone wild, a restive underclass, criminal syndicates, and bands of malicious hackers. At least, that's the scenario outlined in, and I quote, Megacities, Urban Future, The Emerging Complexity, which is a 5-minute video that has been used at the Pentagon's Joint Special Operations University. All that stands between the coming chaos and the good people of Lagos and Dhaka, or even maybe New York City, is the US military. And that is according to the video, which of course The Intercept obtained via the Freedom of Information Act. Anyway, the video is nothing if not an instant dystopian classic, melancholy music, an ominous voiceover, and cascading images of sprawling slums and urban conflict. Yes, megacities are complex systems where people and structures are compressed together in ways that defy both our understanding of city planning and military doctrine, says a disembodied voice. These are the future breeding grounds, incubators, and launching pads for adversaries and hybrid threats. And alright, let's watch the video from the Pentagon about our dystopic hellscape of 2030.
The future is urban. By 2030, urban areas are expected to grow by 1.4 billion, with that growth occurring almost entirely in the developing world. Cities will account for 60% of the world's population and 70% of the world's GDP. The urban environment will be the locus where drivers of instability will converge. It is the domain that by the year 2030, 60% of urban dwellers will be under the age of 18. The cities that grow the fastest will be the most challenged as resources become constrained and illicit networks fill the gap left by overextended and undercapitalized governments. The risk of natural disasters compounded by geography, climate changes, unregulated growth, and substandard infrastructure intersect to frustrate humanitarian relief. Growth will magnify the increasing separation between rich and poor. Religious and ethnic tensions will be a defining element in the social landscape. Stagnation will coexist with unprecedented development as impoverishment, slums, and shantytowns rapidly expand alongside modern high-rises, technological advances, and ever-increasing levels of prosperity. This is the world of our future. It is one we are not prepared to effectively operate within, and it is unavoidable. Megacities are complex systems where people and structures are compressed together in ways that defy both our understanding of city planning and military doctrine. It is an ecosystem that demands a highly agile and adaptive force to successfully operate within. Infrastructures will vary radically, with concentrations of high-tech transportation, globally connected air and seaports, contemporary water, utilities, and waste disposal intermixed with open landfills, overburdened sewers, polluted water, and makeshift power grids. Living habitats will extend from the high-rise to the ground-level cottage to subterranean labyrinths, each defined by its own social code and rule of law. Social structures will be equally challenged if not dysfunctional, as historic ways of life clash with modern living, ethnic and racial differences are forced to live together, and criminal networks offer opportunity for the growing mass of unemployed. This becomes the nervous system of non-nation-state, unaligned individuals and organizations that live and work in the shadows of national rule. Where physical domains can be seen, digital domains will have limitless potential to breed and expand without limit. Digital security and trade will be increasingly threatened by sophisticated illicit economies and decentralized syndicates of crime to give adversaries global reach at an unprecedented level. This will add to the complexities of human targeting, as a proportionally smaller number of adversaries intermingle with a larger and increasing number of citizens. The scale and density of these domains is daunting. In a city of 10 million, where you hold the support of 99% of the population, the remaining 1% represents a threat of 100,000. It is an environment of convergence, hidden amongst the enormous scale and complexity of the megacity. These are the future breeding grounds, incubators, and launching pads for adversaries and hybrid threats. Linked globally, these are man-made labyrinths that provide refuge and movement across the vast sections of these cities where alternate forms of governance have taken control. The advice of doctrine, from Sun Tzu to current field manuals, has provided two fundamental options. Avoid the cities, or establish a cordon to either wait out the adversary or drain the swamp of non-combatants and engage the remaining adversaries in high-intensity conflict within. Even our counterinsurgency doctrine, honed in the cities of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan, is inadequate to address the sheer scale of population in the future urban reality. From the streets of Aachen to the Citadel and Way, we have defeated adversaries who attempted to use urban terrain to their advantage. Urban conflict is written deep into the Army's histories. But in tomorrow's conflict, these megacities are orders of magnitude greater in complexity, and our current options do not meet strategic ends. Our future operations must allow us to rapidly return the city to the people. They will be too large and complex to isolate or cordon in their entirety. Yet our soldiers will have to operate within these ecosystems with minimal disruption and flow. Our current and past strategies can no longer hold. We are facing environments that the masters of war never foresaw. We are facing a threat that requires us to redefine doctrine and the force in radically new and different ways. The future Army will confront a highly sophisticated urban-centric threat that will require that urban operations become the core requirement for the future land force. The threat is clear. Our direction remains to be defined. The future is urban.
So that video right there was used as part of this Advanced Special Operations Combating Terrorism course, which was offered back in 2016. It's all based on a lesson on the emerging terrorism threat. So as the film unfolds, we're bombarded with an apocalyptic list of ills endemic to this new urban environment: criminal networks, substandard infrastructure, religious and ethnic tensions, impoverishment and slums, open landfills, overburdened sewers, and a growing mass of unemployed people.
After thousands of years, during which humans were the rulers of the world, authority and power will shift away from humans to computers, and most humans will become economically useless and politically powerless.
That list is as long as it is grim, and it does accompany photos of garbage-choked streets, people throwing rocks in masks, and riot cops battling protesters in the developing world. And I quote, "Growth will magnify the increasing separation between the rich and the poor." Yes, that is the warning as the scene shifts to New York City. Looking down from a high vantage point on 3rd Avenue, we are left to ponder if the Army is going to one day find itself defending the lunchtime crowd dining on $57 steaks at the plainly visible Smith & Wollensky. According to the video, tomorrow's vast urban jungles will be replete with subterranean labyrinths governed by their own social code and rule of law. They will also enable a proliferation of digital domains that facilitate sophisticated, illicit economies and decentralized syndicates of crime to give adversaries global reach at unprecedented levels. If the photo montage in the video is to be believed, hackers will use outdoor electrical outlets to do grave digital damage, such as donning the Guy Fawkes masks and filming segments of, and I quote, anonymous news. This, we're told, will somehow add to the complexities of human targeting, as a proportionally smaller number of adversaries are going to intermingle with the larger and increasing number of normal citizens, end of quote. This is the world of our future, end of quote. Megacities. It is one that we are not prepared to effectively operate within, and it is unavoidable. The threat is clear. Our direction remains to be defined. The future is urban, end of quote. Now, how exactly is it that every single person within government believes that society and civilization in general are going to be rendered a dystopic hellscape by 2030? Well, that's because they are creating that hellscape. It's been the plan for a long time. Of course, we all know the Limits to Growth report in 1972. From there, we signed on to Agenda 21 in the 1990s. And then in 2014, that's when they began releasing documents on how to change society, how to remake the world. And all of their tyrannical plans have an end date of 2030. Or is that really just the true beginning? We will soon find out. And we will find out a lot more after the Davos event takes place. However, until then, once again, this is HelioWave. If you like the content, like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video if you want to. If you're in a position to, consider subscribing on Locals or Subscribestar. As always, make sure you disobey those true fascistas, and yes, I do hope you have a good night.